I'm Amanda, and this is The Middle of It, a podcast about the messy but beautiful in between parts of life. So many times when I've been asked, "Who are you?" or "Tell me a little bit about yourself," my mind goes straight to roles. I'll say mom, or I'll talk about my job, or I'll name whatever hat I happen to be wearing that day. But the real question, who am I really, goes deeper. It's about staying true to myself, even when the world, my roles, or even my own fear tries to pull me away from that truth. This episode is about that kind of strength, not the performance kind, not the I can carry everything kind, the kind where you stay loyal to yourself, where you stop disappearing. Motherhood alone has given me multiple versions of myself. As a young mom, I let myself be defined by stigma, by what people whispered about me, by low self esteem and poor truths that weren't actually mine. Now, as the mom of teenagers, I'm living a different identity. I'm trying to guide them through decisions that will shape their futures: driving, drinking, sex, college. It's terrifying sometimes. And then there's baby mom me, the version of me making choices about bamboo versus cotton, peanut butter versus no peanut butter, depending upon what year you ask. Honey good, honey bad, drowning in opinions, blogs, and unsolicited advice. All of those roles are real. But the truth is, I'm more than that. And the moments I forget that, that's when I start to lose myself. It's not just motherhood. It's career me, partner me, sober me, friend me. Career me is ambitious. She wants to prove herself, to show she belongs. She's smart enough, but she can also overextend, take on too much, confuse worth with productivity. Partner me, she wants to be supportive, steady, loving, but sometimes she goes quiet just to keep peace. Sometimes she disappears in the we instead of showing up as me. Sober me changed everything. She reshaped every other version because sobriety forced me to stop hiding, stop performing, stop lying. I had to start telling the truth, even when it was uncomfortable, even when it risked rejection. Sober me is the anchor. She keeps the others honest. And then there's friend me, loyal, available, willing to drop everything to show up, but also sometimes too afraid to say, I can't do this right now. What I've realized is that each role calls on a different part of me. The common thread, the one I want to hold on to, is being true in all of them. There was a season when I thought strength meant doing it all myself. After years of codependence, of carrying someone else who needed to carry themselves, I swung hard in the other direction. I told myself, never again. I won't need anyone. I'll handle it all alone. And you know what? That wasn't strength either. That was fear. And it never actually ever even happened. In recovery, I learned that strength isn't independence. Strength is knowing you need people, that you're built for fellowship, for community, for sisters who will answer your call when life gets lifey. That realization that I'm stronger when I'm not alone was a turning point. It kept me true to myself, not the version of me that was trying to prove she didn't need anyone. After Bryn was born, I felt lost in my own body. It didn't feel like mine anymore. It felt like I was carrying around someone else's skin. I remember standing in front of the mirror thinking, oh my gosh, where am I? That's when the pressure to perform strength came in loud. Smile, bounce back, pretend like you're okay with the changes. Act like you're grateful, no matter how you actually feel. But the truth, I wasn't okay. And the strongest thing I did was admit that, to stop pretending. Losing weight didn't make me feel strong. What made me strong was learning to tell the truth about where I was. To say, I feel lost right now and I'm trying to find my way back. Now, on the other side of it, of losing weight, I don't feel lost in my body anymore. I feel at home again. And that's because I let myself stop performing and start telling the truth. Relationships are one of the hardest places to stay true to yourself because it's tempting, so tempting to perform, to be the easy partner, the low maintenance one, the cool girlfriend who doesn't need too much. Or on the other side, to be the caretaker, the fixer, the one who carries everything so the other person doesn't have to. I've played both roles. I've gone quiet to avoid conflict. I've shrunk myself to keep peace. I've also poured myself out completely, codependent as hell, thinking my worth was in keeping someone else afloat. And all of those choices had one thing in common: I was abandoning myself. The truth is, every time I betrayed what I really needed, every time I silenced my voice, I disappeared a little bit more. I thought I was saving a relationship, but really, I was losing me. And here's something I've had to learn the hard way: staying true in a relationship means speaking up, even when your voice shakes. It means saying, this isn't working for me, or this is what I need, and being willing to risk the loss. Because if the only way someone will stay is if you keep betraying yourself, then they're not really staying with you. They're staying with the performance. Another thing I've had to learn: to believe people when they show me who they are. How many times have I explained away bad behavior, told myself a story to make it easier to swallow? But strength is taking the evidence for what it is. It's not excusing, not twisting it, not shrinking around it, but facing it honestly. And the other side of that coin is giving myself permission to change my mind, to admit when I've outgrown a dynamic, to say, I thought I could handle this, but I can't. Or I used to be okay with this, but I'm not anymore. That doesn't make me flaky. It makes me human. The truth is, relationships are a mirror. They'll show you exactly where you're tempted to disappear. And the work, the strong, hard, true work, is to stop abandoning yourself for connection, to bring your full self into the room, even when it risks being too much, even when it risks someone walking away. Because at the end of the day, if I lose a relationship but keep myself, I'm still whole. But if I lose myself just to keep the relationship, I'm already broken. But I don't want to paint all of this as doom and gloom, because the other side of the story is this: when I do speak up, when I do stay true, the right people lean in. The relationship I'm in now isn't perfect. None of them are. But it's the first place where I've really practiced telling the truth, where I've said, this is what I need. This is where I'm struggling. This is who I actually am. And I've been met with someone who wants to grow alongside me. That's the hope. Not that relationships will be easy, but that when you're true to yourself, the people who are meant to stay will stay for the real you, not the performance. I keep coming back to this picture of planting grass seed back in the spring. When I first scattered it in the yard, I expected results overnight. I watered once, maybe twice, and the next morning I ran outside like a kid waiting for Christmas. Nothing, just dirt. I thought, well, that's that. It's not working. So I started Googling and doing ChatGPT. Did I buy the wrong seed? Should I have raked deeper? Did we water too much, too little? I was ready to give up. And my partner looked at me and was like, Amanda, stop digging it up to check. Just keep watering. It's working even when you can't see it. That stopped me in my tracks. Because isn't that exactly what we do to ourselves? We want change. We want growth. We want healing. And we want proof right now. We get sober and expect instant peace. We start therapy and want our relationships to heal overnight. We decide to live more honestly and then get frustrated when the results aren't obvious immediately. But life doesn't work that way. Growth takes time. And here's the kicker: the most important part of growth happens underground. It's invisible. The roots are spreading, stabilizing, anchoring. You can't see it, but it's real. That's where faith comes in. Staying true to yourself means you keep watering even when you can't see progress. You keep telling the truth even when it feels like nobody notices. You stay consistent, you stay honest, you stay rooted even in the dark. Because one day, the green does break through, and you realize the miracle wasn't just the grass, it was who you became while you were waiting. That's strength. That's faith. That's staying true. Losing yourself doesn't always happen in some big dramatic moment. Most of the time, it's a slow fade, a series of tiny betrayals. Silencing yourself to keep peace, saying yes when you're screaming no, letting other people's validation weigh more than your own truth. For me, it built and built until I hit rock bottom in my last relationship before recovery. That was the darkest version of me. The girl who was so codependent, so wrapped up in someone else's chaos that I didn't even know where I ended and they began. I carried what wasn't mine to carry, and it hollowed me out. Before I got sober, I can remember driving one night and picturing myself veering off the parkway into the trees. It felt like it would be a release, an escape from the hell I felt I was living in. I couldn't do that to my kids, so I didn't. But that's where losing myself got me. Even after getting sober, I still lived for the gold star, and sometimes I still do. Making a decision and immediately picking up the phone to tell someone else, really just seeking approval. Shrinking myself so I wouldn't be seen as silly. Saying yes when everything inside me screamed no. Every time I did that, I disappeared a little more. That's the real cost of betraying yourself: invisibility. Now I know I don't want to disappear. Not in my body, not in my relationships, not in my recovery. One of the strongest ways I've learned to stay true to myself is by giving myself permission to change. For a long time, I thought it's done having kids. I had 3 already. I was in a groove with work. My older girls were growing up. Life felt full. And if I'm being really honest, part of me thought having another baby would mean starting all over again. And I didn't think I had it in me. But then something started to shift. It wasn't a lightning bolt, it was more like a slow softening, I guess. I'd see a mom with a baby, and instead of feeling relieved that that stage of my life was behind me, I'd feel this tug. I'd imagine my older girls as big sisters. I'd picture another little one at our table, in our family, part of our story. It scared me at first because people, of course, had opinions. People questioned it. Why would you do that now? Aren't you stretched enough? And for a while, I let those voices get to me. But staying true to myself meant listening to the quiet voice inside that said, yes, this is right for us. So I changed my mind. I opened my heart and we welcomed Bryn into our lives. And let me tell you, she's been the greatest reminder that identity and truth aren't fixed. They evolve, they grow, they surprise us. And the beauty is, I didn't betray the version of me who once said, I'm done. That was true for her in that season. This was true for me in this one. Both can be real, both can be valid. That's what I mean when I say permission to change is radical. It means trusting that you can honor your past self and follow your present truth. Sometimes I still feel split, like I'm carrying around puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together. There's the mom piece, the career piece, the partner piece, sober piece, the friend piece. And depending on the day, one feels more central than the others. Some pieces change shape. Some I've had to set aside altogether. And sometimes the picture just doesn't make sense. For a long time, that frustrated me. I thought identity was supposed to be a single, complete image, one clear answer to who am I? But now I see it differently. Maybe life isn't about finishing the puzzle. Maybe it's about collecting the pieces as you go. Some will stick, some won't, some will surprise you. And the point isn't to force them into one perfect picture, but to honor the truth of each piece in its season. The puzzle doesn't have to be finished to be beautiful, and it doesn't have to look like anyone else's. What makes it strong, what makes me strong, is that every piece I keep is honest. That's how I know I'm staying true to myself. When the pieces in front of me are real, not performative. When I can look at my life and say, it might not be perfect, but it's mine. So if someone asked me to define myself right now, I wouldn't hand over a list of roles or pretend I've got it all figured out. I'm going with the truth instead. Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of change, choices, growth, and the messy work of staying true to myself. That's who I am. Not a finished product, not a role, just me. Strong because I'm true. I'm still putting the puzzle together. Some pieces fit, some don't. Some are brand new and surprise me. And that's okay because the puzzle doesn't have to be finished to be beautiful. It just has to be true. And right now, that's enough. Thanks for being here with me in the middle of it. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who might need the reminder too. And remember, you're not lost. You're just in the middle of it. And the middle is where you find out who you are. Until next time, keep going.